I'm Tara McDonald and I am Miss February 2010 Playboy cover girl.
I'm tasty.
This is probably one of the most random career opportunities and experiences that I've had. I can't believe that I was on the cover of Playboy magazine and I had 8 pages inside. In 2010, I was approached by Playboy magazine to be their cover girl. And the reason I think they picked me is because of my work with David Guetta. The songs we made together were a big success. David is French, and so I was approached by French Playboy to see if I wanted to be their cover girl. And of course I said yes, but the first thing I did was call my mum and dad. My dad went, "Do it, mate, Marilyn Monroe's done it." And then my mum was like, "Oh, Terry, you can't say that. How can you tell your daughter to be naked in Playboy magazine?" So I chose to follow my dad's advice and I did it. This magazine is now a collector's item. It's 15 years old, which is crazy. One of the reasons I chose to work with Playboy was because I wanted to show that real women are beautiful. I'm not a model, I'm just a singer. I'm a normal girl and I wanted to show that normal bodies are beautiful. At that point, I was working with David Guetta, David Vendetta, and I'd also recently worked on an album with Brian Ferry, and they all very kindly wrote some lovely things about me for the magazine as well, which is really sweet. I'd never done a naked photo shoot before, so obviously I was quite nervous. I rocked up by myself to this hotel in the north of Paris. Nobody really spoke English except for the stylist, who's now one of my lifelong friends. We bonded through my trauma of being naked in front of a room full of strangers. And I had no idea how to pose. And literally Yuri was behind the photographer just going, "More feminine, Tara," because I just was a bit too butch. And so he was doing this from behind the camera. Without him, I wouldn't have got these shots probably. And Alexander, the photographer, was amazing. Everyone was so sweet with me, and I was quite nervous to take my clothes off initially, but I've always sunbathed topless because I hate tan lines. So by the end of the day, I was completely liberated and I was naked on top of the balcony and they were shouting, "Tara, put some clothes on, we'll be arrested." Pros and cons of doing Playboy. Something I didn't think about was how people would react to it. When I was doing my club shows, quite a few people in the audience would bring the magazine for me to sign. I wasn't prepared for that. People also thought I was going to sing topless, which I've never done. It's not that kind of show, honey. So that, I guess, was a con of the experience, but a beautiful thing that came from it was making lifelong friends and discovering a guy called Fred, who's actually now been my boyfriend for 15 years, and I met him on this shoot. Also bonded by naked trauma. My main concern of being in Playboy was that the photographs would be vulgar, but I was assured that it would be really tasteful and fun. Fred did say to me that porn is now free because of the internet, and we want to make a fantasy, a beautiful fantasy, and a coffee table magazine. The brief was I would be a cross between Bettie Page and Andy Warhol's pop art, and I love all of that. So I said yes immediately, and I'm really, really proud I did this now. This was 15 years ago. My body isn't quite the same as then, and it's just a beautiful, random moment in my life. Yeah, you know what? I'm Tara McDonald, and I was a Playboy cover girl. Darling.
Just too tasty.